Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, hello. My name is Katie Shane with the Terre Haute Chamber of Commerce. And with March being Disability Awareness Month, the great people from the Will Center contacted us. They're a great partner to the Chamber and our entire community. And Danny Wayne asked to come on, talk a little bit about Disability Awareness Month, other things that we should all know and learn about. And with so much of the inclusivity panels and discussions the chambers continue to have, we thought this would be a great opportunity to learn a little. And we always enjoy listening to Danny Wayne. We also have Dee Dodd here from the Will Center, and they are going to do a quick presentation and tell us a little bit more about what the Will Center does, things that the business community needs to know, and maybe more. So Danny and Dee, I'm going to turn it over to you, and let's get started.
Also, we'd like to thank the Chamber of Commerce in Terre Haute for the opportunity to kind of plant a couple of seeds here. Dee Dodd and I have worked together for a number of years. Over the next few minutes, we're going to do some slides for you. And I am sensory challenged, so Dee is kind of going to be my leader person with this. So if you hear me run through things, I'm looking at it through a piece of technology. Dee?
All righty. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I get there first. There we go.
Oh, technology.
Yes. How wonderful it is.
Okay. So
let me get to the first page, Danny. There we go.
All right. So the location of the Will Center is in Terre Haute. The address is 1 Dreiser Square, but to help you a little bit, not using GPS because that doesn't get you here, we're on Cruft, C-R-U-F-T, between 3rd and 1st. There's a sign for Labor Link. If you turn west on Cruft, you'll see the center. We're open 8 to 4 Monday through Thursday, Friday. We serve these counties: Clay, Park, Vermilion, Vigo, Owen, and Putnam counties in Indiana, kind of western Indiana. All of our services are free. We do have a Facebook page as well. And Dee is right in the middle of her master's program. And when she said, "Hey, Danny, I'll talk about the mission statement," because I've been doing those with St. Mary of the Woods with my leadership program. So, Dee?
Yep. We also have a website, guys. So if you want to check us out, you can get more information at thewillcenter.org. And our mission statement is something that's really important to us. It's all about what March is, but don't forget that every month is Disability Awareness Month, not just March. But our mission is to empower people with disabilities to ensure that they have a full and complete access to the community resources to promote their independence. And Danny, go ahead and talk about what we offer.
Yeah, the Will Center is a nonprofit organization. No one lives here. We're not residential. Now, sometimes we think we live here because there's a lot of hours that are put in behind the scenes here. But we're run by people for persons with a disability, and we have some services that we focus on. They're kind of our foundation. Individual advocacy, and a perfect example is that someone called today and asking me if there's a cab service in Terre Haute. So I did a little bit of research, answered their question, and that's individual information referral. System advocacy. Dee and I worked very hard with our intern on a project we've introduced to the city of Terre Haute, asking them about making some audible crossings in downtown Terre Haute. New convention center coming, the revamped Holman Center. Big events is planned for there. We want to make sure people that are sensory challenged have a safe path to cross. So that's kind of a system advocacy. Information and referral. Let's say someone calls and says, "Hey, where's a polling site that's accessible for me?" Well, our staff would research that and follow up with it. Individual excuse me, independent living skills. Now, here's a perfect example of that. One of our staff works with a gentleman who is employed right now, but he also was receiving Social Security Disability, SSI or SSDI, and our staff helps him organize his check stubs on a regular basis to make sure that that information is critical and gets to the right people. Assistive technology. knowledge and information. I'm using a piece of assisted technology right now. I can't see what's on the screen. So Dee printed out a large print copy of the presentation. I'm using what's called a video magnifier. I've got it in large. So if I look down some, it's kind of like a teleprompter, I guess you could say. And ADA information. Well, ADA, it's the Americans with Disability Act, and it is a foundation to build off of. And here's a perfect example. Let's say that you're starting a new business and you've got a parking lot. Well, how many spaces are accessible parking? Well, the ADA has a specific guideline. It's 1 in 25, and that is for temporary locations too, as well, or temporary events. Peer counseling, Dee does a really neat thing with that. She does a craft group every month, not because of COVID, but we've been doing that for a number of years, and we continue it as well. In person, we're going to do that soon, but we are doing constant peer counseling, whether it be individual or on the phone. Dee, I believe you have a couple of groups that you work with throughout the Wabash Valley on that.
Yes, I do. Living with a low vision actually is what we call them. We've been doing it over the phone, but before COVID, we met in person.
And transition is another big word, but it's simplified in this manner. We help someone transitioning from one education platform to their career, whether it be working or whether it be continuing their education. So transition is another part of our program, Dee.
And when you want to talk about the disability population, especially here in Vigo County, as an employer, you should know that in Indiana, there's a little more than 19% of the population has some sort of disability. And in Vigo County, there's 107,038 people. So when you want to talk about how many people have a disability in Vigo County, it actually is 18.2%. And then the age of under 65 is actually 13.6%. That's probably more than most people realize. And then I went ahead and threw some statistics, as you can see, for Park and Vermilion County on here as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and talk about another thing that we deal with and Danny's going to help me cover that is person first language.
You did a lot of research on this, Dee, so I'm going to do a couple of three, and then I'll toss it back to you.
Okay.
Disabled person, the best way to say is person with a disability. And just below that's low functioning and greater support needed, Dee.
Yep. And the biggest thing to remember when you're working with disability population is that you want to see the person, not the disability. And sometimes you can ask them how they want to be referred to. So say that you are dealing with somebody like Danny, who is low vision. You don't have to refer to them as the blind. You could say the person who is blind, or say that it's somebody who's nonverbal. You could say they communicate without words, or say that it is somebody who has a learning disability. You could say they have a learning disability. So it's not that the person is all about their disability, it's that they have a disability. So like I said, remember to refer to them as they would like to be.
And Dee, another program that we have worked very hard on, and you actually were involved with this for a number of years until you came over and helped launch the low vision program. It's Ramps for Freedom, and we're always looking for volunteers or organizations to support this. But the main thing is this is helping people get in and out of their home to go to work, Dee.
Yeah, this is a really big program. It's one that we take a lot of pride in. So every one of our ramps are ADA compliant, which means that there is a slope and rise number that they need to go about. And if you're not sure about that, contact the ADA, because even as employers, you need to make sure that you have some sort of accessible entrance to your business. And this is something that we've done for residents here in Vigo County for a number of years. We've built a successful amount of ramps, and those are at no cost to the consumer.
And Dee, something else that we do is we reach out a lot to, we do health fairs or we do public presentations, kind of like this one. We're partnering with the Chamber of Commerce in Terre Haute, and we really appreciate that opportunity because we like to get the word out, but we need your help in this because we want you to help other people clearly understand, like the person first language that Dee shared with you. Try to implement that in your workday, or maybe in your writing and communication with individuals. It's really important. But Dee and I are available to come and speak to your group or organization. If it's early in the morning, Dee requires a Starbucks, please.
Yes, please. Well, thank you for letting us present. And as you can see, this last photo actually was taken recently. This is our new mascot, Waving Willie, which was determined by a contest we had on the radio recently. So we want to thank you for letting us present. And Danny, is there anything you'd like to end with?
Well, just keep us in mind, the Wabash Independent Living and Learning Center, 6 Western Indiana counties. Come and visit us sometime. We're on Cruft. We'd love to show you what we're doing. It's quite a variety. A lot of people still don't know about us, but maybe Waving Willow will get the word out with us.
Danny, I want to see you do the waving Willie. You probably,
No, I can't do it.
you should think about a career in radio, Danny.
You know,
Yeah,
I,
Danny,
I've,
you should.
yeah, I'll be the radio guy for my block, probably in my neighborhood. Yeah, that
Well,
or I,
Dee and Danny, we thank you so much for this presentation. Again, I think it's great education, and I know that you just touched on a small amount today, but I think that if businesses want to expand on this, they can certainly call you. And as other things come about, don't be a stranger. I know you guys send us a lot of information at the chamber, but we're always really excited to partner with you, and we appreciate the time.
and the chamber does a great job with all over the community, and we got some exciting things happening. We just want to make sure the platform is accessible to persons with a disability, because we've got wallets too.
Yes, sure do.
That is true. That is true. Well, Dee, Danny, thank you guys so much. And Dee, Danny, will you give them a re-up on how to get in touch with you guys?
Dee?
Sure. You can give us a call at 812-298-9455 or visit us in person at the Will Center, 1 Dreiser Square, or you can go ahead and email us at thewillcenter.org, and from there you can get our email information for Danny or I.
And all of your information is in the membership directory right on the Chamber's website. So you won't have any trouble getting a hold of them if you're interested in some more information or having a presentation at your place of business. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Have a great day.
Bye, Katie.